a roller dancer. No, she can't. No, she can't. No, she's good. All right. Next question. Why do men have such a hard time performing after a night of drinks? I'm just reading the questions. Microphone's on. Microphone's on. Why did Elam walk away? Because apparently you're the only one who wants this question. Okay, there's a part two that might be more fun, gentlemen. What makes a man most aroused?
I'll take that one on.
Okay, Ruben's like, I like that question. I like that question.
First and foremost, it just depends on the man. I think maybe sometimes the alcohol or drinking or something, it can help you out.
What's the term for that?
What
do they call that?
The aphrodisiac, I don't know what they call it.
It's called liquid courage.
It's called liquid courage.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the first question. But the second thing, and this is, again, I'm bringing my approach to this, my perspective. I think that one of the most arousing things about women, to me, is the intellect. You know, if I can have an intellectual, emotional connection with somebody, that right there is, it's like heaven. You know, so if you can sit down with somebody, you can connect with them, talk about things that matter to you. They can give you back that, you know, you can have a conversation about anything that matters to you. That's cool. And then if you have that emotional connection as well, there's nothing like it. It's beyond physicality. It's beyond, I believe, anything else. If you can have that again, that emotional, intellectual, and spiritual connection with somebody, that is to me the most arousing thing that I can think of.
Oh, he just wants to be held. Thank you.
I do.
Yeah, some people would like to hear Seth answer this question. Seth's gonna be like, we're not supposed to talk about that.
What was the question?
The question was, what makes a man most aroused?
It's a very short answer. Physical attraction, also emotional attraction.
That was good. Good. Add that in. Okay.
You're not going to get a lot out of me on that.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. You're pointed and to the point, Seth. All right. We'll move on to the next one. Why do men find strong, independent women intimidating and want to change them once they are in a committed relationship? I didn't mean to ask it like that, but that looked like how it's written. Huh.
What's the question?
Okay, why do men find strong, independent women intimidating and want to change them once they are in a committed relationship? I think that's two questions. So, and again, we tell on ourselves with who wrote the question. No.
I will say this.
Uh-oh.
A man that's about his business appreciates a woman that's about her business.
Absolutely.
That's simple. I said what I had to say.
All right. Anyone else?
I'll say something. There's actually a chapter in the book. It's called Independence versus Interdependence or something like that. You know, that actually touches upon this. And I'll bring my own take to the table here as well. And that is, you know, I want an independent, strong woman who's capable of running a household, who's capable of running a business. Who can, you know, I think of Michelle Obama as the ultimate, you know, example to me. That's what I think. You know, she's a CEO, an Ivy League educated woman who can be president herself. You know, but there is also a bit of a caveat over here. If you're overly independent, especially if you're pushing back against your partner, then that can become a problem. It's about interdependence. I know that Bruce Lee used to have this famous saying. He used to say, it's not about 1 and 1 equaling 2. It's about a half and a half equaling 1. So the partnership, the ability to work with each other, being two strong, independent, you know, minds who are hardworking, who are successful, but who complement one another is more important, the interdependence aspect than the independence aspect. I think that, again, that's something also that we have to ask ourselves the question of. I think we've gone maybe over the top when we talk about men being, you got to be the head of the household, you got to run this thing, the woman is subservient to you. And on the opposite spectrum, oh, you got to be independent, it's all about me, you know, I don't need a man in my life. You know, I don't gotta, you know, abide or work with the partner. I can walk away whenever I want to. That's not the problem. I think in Aziz Ansari's book, Steve Harvey as well, if you've read his book, he talks about that. It's throwaway culture. If you, if somebody messes up very early on, oh, I'm out this relationship. It's over and done with. That's not interdependence. Oh, if somebody has a red flag that comes up, which in all relationships, I'm not married, but I'm pretty sure that happens. even in marriage, oh, I'm out this relationship, that's a problem with me. You know, we have to be wary of that. I think that marriage as an institution, as a human institution, is about interdependence. A half and a half becoming one, and then moving forward and building up a lifetime of support for one another. So this independence model is problematic, but interdependence, and again, bringing your own voice, your own sense of sensibilities, your own strengths to the table is more important. Like you said, a marriage is a business. You know, I don't want to go into a business relationship with somebody who wants to, in the end, screw me over, or in the end wants to get something out of me just so they can move on and do something else, you know, for themselves. I want to formulate a business relationship with someone who I can build a long-term standing with, who we can build a future with. And again, that's the way I would look at the whole independence versus interdependence model. It's about a half and a half becoming one. Not 1 + 1 = 2, because you can divide 2 into back to 1. But it's more difficult to do that when you have a whole. So that would be my take on it. And I don't know if anybody else wants to add on to the conversation or...
Yeah, I guess I could put the 2 cents on it.
Here's my thing. Yes, chapter 2 is called Miss Independent or Miss Interdependent. And in that particular chapter, what the men are talking about is this exact topic of how we feel, how the progressively moving forward man feels. Now watch these words, how the progressively moving forward man feels about an independent woman. And a lot of times it's thought of as there is that we are intimidated by that. And I'm here to share with you that we're not, okay? Now, we're not, we want you to go out there and be absolutely great, right? Be fantastic. Whatever level that you want to be at from a job perspective, we encourage, we're okay with it, okay? Now, the wrong man is, right? But the right one is, right? But let me share something with you, because this is where you run into some difficulty, okay? The same things that made you successful at the conference table does not make you successful at the kitchen table. And I want you to look at that metaphorically speaking. I'm not saying you're supposed to be home barefoot and pregnant and stuff like that. I'm saying to you that the same thing that makes you great out there, when you cross that threshold, it's a different person that you have to become. You can hire and fire and do all that all day long, but then you come home to this type of progressive, these ain't no punks. Okay? And you gonna come in telling this and telling that? No. If you really know how to maximize your femininity, you can guide us to the answer that we really didn't even want to do in the first place.
Hey, baby.
If you really want to be a woman and put your big girl panties on, you don't have to, no, and I have an opinion and all this. Man, yes, we know you have an opinion. You're not subservient, like he said, or underneath our feet, or whatever the case would be. It's a savvy that you learn. Or you've seen mom do it today. You've seen that happen. Or you've worked on it during those times. Right now, while you're unmarried, it's a craft. And if you work that craft correctly, that guy's gonna go out there and run through a brick wall for you.
Can I say something to add to that? Because this was one of the chapters he sent me before you released the book. And the one thing we did agree upon is, and I'm speaking to my ladies specifically, is that you might not have learned this in your household. If your mother was head of household, the man wasn't around. I'm speaking for me, that's who I was. We have a natural nurturing femininity that at times when we have to bring home the bacon, cook it up, be the man and the woman, we don't see demonstrated for us. So you gotta first go, okay, I haven't seen this, I don't know what this is. So I remember being in college, and I had a boyfriend, and I was away from home, and I brought my boyfriend home. I'm all proud, I got my little boyfriend. And we were there for Thanksgiving, and I got up and I fixed him a plate and did, you know, and my mother looked at me and was like, what's something wrong with his legs? I said no, but then I started studying who I am naturally. I naturally want to serve my man, and it doesn't mean that I'm less than. I'm gonna get him his plate because I want to. Just like he might get me something later. But my mother taught me, and I had to understand that we talk about bag lady, that baggage, that's not mine. Okay? She went out and she broke some barriers that I didn't have to. I can walk around as an African American woman strong because of what my mother fought for. We have different battles, ladies. So we need different tools. That's all I wanted to add.
I think you must say. Oh, okay, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, we can go to the next question.
Okay, and this is the final question. I know there were more questions, but most of them were similar. So, okay. Wait a minute, is that one? Okay, yes, this one. How often should a couple have sex per week? Go. Seth? No, I'm joking. I just knew they wanted that. They wanted that. So.
Well, I mean, answer this question
Victor
here.
next? Okay.
I would honestly would say depends on how often that person can see each other. You know, it depends on the situation. If they're living together, hey, you know, they can get it out like rabbits. You know, but there comes a time and place for everything. You know, and you can't do that every day sometimes. You know what I mean? Because you might have to be like swamped with meetings one day, or she might have a situation where she don't have the time. She, you know, she's in time for a week or whatever. I don't know. But that's a real interesting question.
We want a number, Victor. No, I'm joking.
Okay, so as far as a number, I can't really put a number on that because. But I would say once a week. I'm just joking.
Anyone else scared? Nobody's fighting over the
Do
mic.
whatever you gotta do.
Gotta do it. There we go.
You gotta do whatever you gotta do to keep your lady happy.
Absolutely.
And if you can't, there's a pill for that.
All right. Let's give Seth a drink. Anyone else?
All right, let's see. There's 7 days in a week.